Why do so many women, even the strongest, carry an invisible pain? A wound not caused by failure but by inheritance. It whispers, "You're not enough. You must earn love." This isn't your fault, it's the mother wound. And today we'll explore how Carl Jung's archetypes explain this deeply personal yet universal wound and how to heal it. Welcome to The Unfold, where we turn psychology into transformation. What if the voice that tells you you're not good enough wasn't yours to begin with? Many women today silently carry a deep emotional scar, one that isn't visible on the body, but lives quietly in the soul. It's called the mother wound. And no, it's not about blaming your mother. It's about understanding the legacy of pain passed from woman to woman, often unconsciously, over generations. The mother wound is the emotional and psychological pattern formed when a daughter does not receive the nurturing, acceptance, or emotional safety she needs from her mother or the maternal environment around her. Sometimes it's caused by a mother who was too critical. Sometimes it's a mother who was too busy surviving to truly see her child. And often it's the result of a cultural pattern where women are taught to shrink themselves, to be small, quiet, pleasing, and never too much. This wound shows up later in life in painful ways. You may find yourself constantly trying to earn love, validation, or approval. You might fear rejection so deeply that you hide your truth. You may overgive in relationships, struggle to set boundaries, or chase success without ever feeling truly worthy of it. Carl Jung didn't use the phrase mother wound directly, but he gave us the tools to understand it on a symbolic and archetypal level. Jung believed in the power of the collective unconscious, a deep layer of the psyche that holds universal human experiences, symbols, and archetypes. One of the most powerful among them is the mother archetype. According to Jung, the mother archetype represents more than just our personal mother. It is the image of the mother within us. She can nurture, heal, create life, but she can also reject, abandon, or smother. If our real-life experiences with our mothers were painful, critical, or emotionally distant, those experiences shape how we see not only our mothers, but ourselves. And here's the difficult truth. When a young girl doesn't feel seen or valued by her mother, she often internalizes the belief that she is unworthy of love. She grows up with an invisible rule book. Be perfect. Don't make waves. Don't be too much. That rule book doesn't just stay in childhood. It follows her into friendships, love, career, and even her relationship with her own body. The mother wound creates a fragmented self, one that feels disconnected from inner worth. But understanding it is the first step toward healing. And Carl Jung's work gives us a powerful map to begin that journey. Carl Jung understood something that modern psychology often forgets. Your mother is more than a person. She's a symbol buried deep in your unconscious. He called this symbol the mother archetype. It's not just your relationship with your biological mother. It's the energy, the image, the psychological force that defines how you relate to the feminine, to care, to creativity, and most importantly, to yourself. The mother archetype lives in the collective unconscious. That means every human being, regardless of culture or era, has some inner image of the mother, shaped by both personal experience and ancestral memory. In its healthy form, this archetype is the great mother, nurturing, protective, comforting, nourishing. She represents life itself. She holds you when you fall apart. She tells you you are loved simply for existing. But just like every archetype, the mother has a shadow side. Jung said that if the nurturing mother gives life, the destructive mother takes it away emotionally, spiritually, or even physically. This is the side we don't talk about. The mother who shames, the mother who competes with her daughter, the mother who emotionally abandons or smothers with control. If your real life experience included this shadow mother, even subtly, you may have internalized her voice. You might find yourself thinking, "I'm too much. I'll only be loved if I perform. Rest is lazy. I need to earn my worth." Jung believed that until we become conscious of these inner voices, they control us. That's the tragedy and the opportunity of the mother archetype. The version you inherited isn't the only one available. But to rewrite her story, you have to meet her inside yourself first. And here's the twist. The mother wound doesn't always come from a bad mother. Sometimes it comes from a mother who was unmothered herself. She may have loved you deeply, but didn't know how to express it. Maybe she was dealing with her own trauma. Maybe she was taught to suppress emotion. Maybe she was surviving in a world that told her she didn't matter unless she sacrificed everything. The pain of this isn't just emotional, it's archetypal. It cuts deep because it affects your foundation of self-worth. When your internal mother archetype is distorted, you may struggle to nurture yourself. You may find it easier to care for others than to care for your own needs. But here's the good news. Archetypes are not fixed. They're patterns, not prisons. And once you become aware of the wounded mother inside you, you can begin to reclaim the healthy mother, the one who holds, forgives, and empowers. As Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Let's not call it fate anymore. Let's call it a choice. You may be wondering, how do I know if I carry the mother wound? The truth is, it often doesn't look dramatic. It shows up in the quiet habits of your daily life. It lives in the way you speak to yourself, the way you set or fail to set boundaries, and in the roles you think you must play to feel enough. Let's talk about a few signs from Jung's perspective. First, over-responsibility. Do you feel like you need to manage everyone else's emotions? Are you the strong one in every relationship, even when you're breaking inside? This often begins in childhood. If your mother was emotionally unavailable, absent, or overwhelmed, you may have become the caretaker. Jung would say the parentified child is forced to become the mother too soon, and that part of you never grew up feeling safe. Second, self-abandonment in relationships. Do you stay silent to keep the peace? Do you chase people who withdraw from you, trying to earn their affection? This is not weakness, it's a survival pattern. If your mother's love felt conditional, only given when you behaved or pleased, you learned to earn love by erasing yourself. Jung called this a fracture in the psyche, when the true self is pushed into the unconscious, replaced by a false self that adapts to gain approval. Third, the fear of being too much, too loud, too emotional, too opinionated. Many women carry a quiet shame about their power. They dim themselves, afraid of being rejected. Jung saw this as the repression of the feminine principle, not just biologically, but energetically. The repressed feminine becomes the inner critic that says, don't be so sensitive, don't outshine, don't take up too much space. Fourth, chronic burnout and productivity addiction. The mother wound teaches, you are valuable only if you're useful. So you work, you fix, you help, you give. But beneath all of that effort is a little girl still waiting to be chosen. Jung believed that when we disown a part of ourselves, it doesn't disappear. It becomes the shadow. And the shadow always finds a way to act out through anxiety, depression, toxic relationships, or perfectionism. Lastly, a struggle with self-nurturing. You might take care of everyone else, but feel guilty resting or asking for help. This is because the internal mother archetype is distorted, more like a critic than a comforter. You don't just need a break. You need to rebuild your inner mother, one who speaks with compassion instead of judgment. If any of this resonates, it's not to shame you, it's to awaken you. These are not personality flaws. These are emotional imprints, and with awareness, they can be transformed. Jung said healing begins when we turn inward, not to fix ourselves, but to reclaim what was lost. Healing the mother wound is not about confronting your mother, it's about transforming the way you mother yourself. Carl Jung believed the path to healing lies in a process he called individuation, the journey of integrating your unconscious patterns into conscious awareness so you can finally become whole. So how do we do that? Practically, here are 5 powerful Jungian-based steps to begin healing. Name the inner mother voice. Start by tuning into your internal dialogue. That voice that says, you're not trying hard enough. You don't deserve rest. You're too much. That is not your authentic self. It's the internalized voice of the wounded or critical mother archetype. Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Naming it gives you power. You are not that voice. You are the awareness listening to it. Connect with your inner child. Healing begins where the wound began. Write a letter to your younger self. What did she long to hear? Speak to her now as the mother she needed. You might say, you were always enough. It was never your job to carry her pain. Jung viewed the inner child as a living presence within the psyche, waiting to be integrated, not dismissed. Work with the mother archetype. Consciously explore both the light and shadow of the great mother within you. Look at myths, goddesses, dreams. even personal symbols. Ask, what does the nurturing mother feel like? Then, ask, what does the devouring or abandoning mother look like in my life? Jung often used active imagination, a technique where you visualize and dialogue with these inner figures. The goal isn't to erase them, but to understand them so they no longer control you from the dark. Create nourishment rituals. Replace self-punishment with self-parenting. Nourishment isn't luxury, it's medicine. This might look like slow mornings, saying no without guilt, cooking for yourself with love, touching your body with tenderness. The more you act from love, the more the inner mother softens. Jung said symbols and rituals awaken the psyche. Create sacred moments, even 5 minutes a day, to reconnect with your emotional safety. Let go of perfection, embrace wholeness. Your worth is not in your performance. It's in your being. Healing. The mother wound is not about becoming flawless. It's about embracing your full humanity, your mess, your magic, your story. Jung didn't promise easy transformation, but he promised this: the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." You are not your wound. You are the healer you've been waiting for. If this video touched your soul, leave A in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives into the psyche. And remember, healing the mother wound isn't rebellion, it's rebirth.